Before we call the meeting to order, we'd like to get a report out of over the Town Council's closed session.
Sure, thank you. The Town Council met in closed session with respect to the items on the closed session agenda, and there is no reportable action. That concludes the report.
Thank you. With that, I will call the meeting of December 20th, 2022 Town Council to order.
And Mayor, if you could open both the regular meeting and the special meeting.
I'm sorry I missed that. Yes, I'm going to call the regular meeting and the special meeting of the Yucca Valley Town Council to order.
Council members Abel.
Here.
Dennison.
Here.
Droz.
Here.
Lombardo.
Here.
And Mayor Schooler.
Here. If you please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, and followed by an invocation led by Pastor Jake Swader of Valley Community Chapel. Ready? Begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, join me, if you will, in prayer. Father, we thank you for this incredible nation that we get to be a part of. We thank you for this community that we are all honored to be members of. And Father, tonight I pray as those that you have set in leadership come together to discuss the business that you've entrusted to them, I ask that you would give them your wisdom, that you would guide the things that they do and that they say. And Father, even as you see the challenges ahead more clearly than we can even begin to imagine, Father, I pray you'd begin to set plans in motion today for the things that we will encounter tomorrow. So Father, I pray that you'd bless this time together and that you would be glorified by the things that we do and say here. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Thank you, Pastor Swader. Moving on, presentations. Do we have any presentations this evening? Seeing none, we will entertain a motion for the approval of the agenda.
Also move.
Mayor, I'll second.
We have a motion and a second.
Council members Abel.
Yes.
Dennison.
Yes.
Droz.
I believe I have to recuse
No,
myself.
this is the agenda. I
Oh,
believe.
the agenda. Okay, sorry. Okay, yes. Yes.
Okay, and Mayor Schooler.
Yes. Okay, consent agenda. All items listed on the consent agenda are routine matters or formal documents covering previous town council instruction. Items are enacted by one motion and a second without separate discussion unless a member of the town council or town staff requests dialogue on a specific item at the beginning of the meeting. Requests for public comment on the consent agenda items should be filed with the town clerk. Is there any member of the public that has a comment on any item on the consent agenda? Seeing none, bring it back to the council. Anybody on the council have discussion? Any item on the consent agenda?
Yes, I believe I need to recuse myself on item number 3, about short-term vacation rentals. But otherwise, I'm fine with everything.
And Mayor, also, I will recuse myself from item 3.
Okay,
So
with
then I'll
that,
second the, you did,
Don't make a motion.
oh, I'll make a motion that we approve the consent agenda with 2 recusals on item 3.
Dennison will second.
we have a motion and a second.
Council members Abel.
Yes.
Dennison.
Yes.
Droz.
Yes.
Lombardo.
Yes.
And Mayor Schooler.
Yes. Next item is the reorganization of the town council. I think I turn that over to the town clerk.
Thank you, Mayor Schooler. So this is an exciting time of our meeting. This is actually part of that special meeting that we're going to plug in here. So if I could have the 3 newly elected incumbents to join me up at the lectern, and we'll do the oath of office first.
Awesome. Did we have to vote on item 3?
If you're in the middle of this.
We did? Okay, they just recused themselves.
So I'll have you raise your right hand, please. I, and state your name,
I, Earl Abel,
do solemnly swear or affirm
I solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United
the
States
Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies,
against all enemies,
foreign and domestic,
foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith
that I will bear in true faith
and allegiance to
and allegiance to
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
of evasion,
and I will well and faithfully
and I will well and faithfully
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
upon which I'm about to enter.
with which I'm about to enter.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Thank you.
All right. So now it's time to select our mayor and mayor pro tem for 2023. So I would like to open up the nominations for a mayor to serve as, or so the selection of mayor to serve for 2023.
Madam Clerk, I would like to recommend for our mayor, Rick Dennison.
I'd like to second.
Are there any other nominations? We'll close the nominations. And roll call. Council members Abel,
Yes.
Droz,
Yes.
Lombardo,
Yes.
Schooler,
Yes.
and Mayor Dennison.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. So Mayor Dennison, we'll turn the meeting back over to you if you could take nominations for Mayor Pro Tem.
Yes, I'd like to go ahead and open, and as I start, I'd like to select and recommend Robert Lombardo as Mayor Pro Tem for the town.
I'll second that.
Thank you. We'll close
No more nominations?
the nominations.
Okay. Roll call. Council members Abel,
Yes.
Droz,
Yes.
Lombardo,
Yes.
Schooler,
Yes.
and Mayor Dennison.
Yes.
Thank you.
Can I make a few comments?
You're kicking them out?
Can I make a few comments before we move on?
Absolutely. Well, now that I'm the mayor, I'd like to take an opportunity and allow our exiting mayor to say a few comments.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. Got to get used to this. No, it has been a blessing and a privilege to serve as mayor for 2022. I've had an opportunity to meet a lot of people in the community. As mayor, you tend to get invited to a lot of events and meetings and swearing-ins and ribbon cuttings and so forth, and met a lot of people, made a lot of new friends. That has just been great. Get a little bit busier when you're the mayor, but it's been extremely rewarding. This is an exciting time for our town. As we stated at the State of the Town address a couple of months ago, we have a lot of momentum. We have a lot of good projects going for us. We are financially solvent, and just thank staff for that. But it is a good time to be in Yucca Valley. It's a good time to be on the council and to be part of this team. I would like to thank the people of Yucca Valley who have welcomed me this year into the organizations, their homes, and their meetings, and into their lives. I've always loved the way the people of this community interact, volunteer their time, and participate to make us better. And thank you to the many people who have joined me at our bi-weekly Coffee with the Mayor sessions. These discussions are sometimes quite lively and always very informative. I hope you've all enjoyed the meetups as much as I have, and thanks to Hawks Landing for making that facility available every other week, and their wonderful staff at the Roost Cafe. I also want to thank those members of the community that have joined me on our Yucca Valley Plugged In podcast. This is a new venture this year, and we've kind of stumbled our way through it at times, but it's been fun, and just thanks to staff and Trepepe Smith for their assistance with the production of that. It's I think, a good addition for reaching out to the community. I am super appreciative of our town staff for their support this year. I found out that as mayor, you get a little extra attention, and if you can come up with ideas, and sometimes not that well conceived, but they are ideas, and they do try and work with you and make them happen. So staff has been very, very supportive, and I appreciate that. To each of my fellow council members, I really appreciate working with this group. Very professional group. I continue to learn from each one of you all the time, and this group is very professional, very collegial. They can disagree without being disagreeable, and are all very invested in doing the right thing for this town. So I appreciate working with this council. To our town attorney, thank you for your guidance, and so for always being available and always being prepared. And you've got such great hair. It's really hard to get past that, but perfect hair. But you are a very, very good member of the team, and we thank you for your support. And Captain Warwick, you joined our team this past summer, and quickly inserted yourself into this community. There was not much of a learning curve. You've reached out. You've found ways to reach out to the community in so many ways. We really appreciate that. And we are always welcoming another good-looking bald guy to the Vidias up here. So thank you. Bob Stevenson, thank you for all that you do for our meetings here, for recording us and recording the action of the town, and being a resource for everybody. You know everything about every organization in this community, and we thank you and salute you, sir. And to our local media, Hillary Sloan and others that have followed us and helped us tell our story, we really appreciate your efforts, so thank you. So with that, I want to congratulate Mayor Rick Dennison and look forward to working with you and the council for the rest of this year. So thank you.
So, Councilmember Schooler, can you join me up to the front? I'd like to say a few words also. And let's recognize you a little bit for all the work that you do. Give everybody an opportunity to see you close up. And easier to share a microphone. So I just wanted to say, you know, my first official action is just to kind of talk about a few things that has happened. And it's my pleasure tonight to recognize you as mayor and our outgoing mayor, Mayor Jim Schooler, and thank him for his service as mayor throughout 2022. Oh, thank you. Throughout 2022, and you know, obviously what a year it's been. We've had a lot of things that have happened in our community, a lot of hard work, as the mayor or past mayor had just said, and it's kind of exciting. So I want to just highlight a little bit of those. As you know, the mayor serves as a ceremonial leader for our community. He's selected amongst his council members. And over the past year, Mayor Schooler served as a great representative of the town of Yucca Valley. There was never a shortage of Mayor Schooler out there. He was common to see the mayor out with his wife Dawn at many town functions and events. Ribbon cuttings were also out there, and we're super grateful for his service. It's very difficult to manage the time as a mayor. There's a lot of things going on in our community, and to make those events is very important to everybody, not just us as a town, but also as all the visitors. If you attended any of these events, you would have seen the mayor in action representing the town. Some of the events that he does, he mentioned briefly his bi-weekly coffee with the mayor, which I've benefited from by receiving donuts later in the day, so thank you for that. The Healthy Hearts Run is another one that's a town favorite, and the mayor was there again. Grub Stakes Days and Parade, he was also in attendance and a representative and a great one of the town. And one of our favorites is the concerts in the park. The mayor was seen there, and he was present and always in the crowd. One of the things that was very close to me that he had the opportunity to be at was the opening of our North Park open area project, a big project that took many years and a lot of help and a lot of work by the mayor. It wasn't an easy to get there, but we got it done. Various chamber and charity events, he's always there. Many of us see him there. And as I said, ribbon cutting events. We had the Spectrum ribbon cutting and also our new Aldi supermarket. He was there and helped along with that to celebrate the opening of those businesses. And of course, just being the leader of the town is a big obligation. So it's my pleasure to present to the mayor a small token of our appreciation and for the dedication and commitment Councilman Schooler has shown over the past year as the mayor of the town of Yucca Valley. And now, as our past council members know all too well, the ex-mayor is often referred to as chopped liver. And as a token of our appreciation, we want to present you with these parting gifts. And here it states, oops, I think I lost it. Am I back? Okay. So for those of you that, I think I lost the volume. Am I here?
Testing.
Testing. Oh, there we go. Okay. So the plaque here states, Mayor Jim Schooler, thank you for your service, dedication, and leadership as Yucca Valley's mayor for 2022, presented December 20th, 2022, Yucca Valley Town Council. Thank you, Jim. All right. You get to hold that chopped liver for a while. That helped a lot.
And you get to move way over to left field, too.
So, yeah, you know, it's going to be difficult to continue to raise the bar all the time as the mayor has done over the last year. And I think every year the town gets more and more organized and a better and better team. And I'm very proud to be here. So thank you, council, for allowing me to be the mayor for the upcoming year of 2023. I very much appreciate the support. And with Dr. Lombardo as my side as the mayor pro tem, it should be a very good journey for all of us. We're going to take a few minutes now, about a 10-minute break, and we're going to reorganize a little bit, and we hope you can stay around and just have some discussion and celebrate with us. Thank you. Well, thank you for taking a moment to celebrate a little bit, have some cake, and it was great socializing with some of you. I wish I could talk to all of you, and hopefully we'll get an opportunity to do that throughout the year. And so we'll go ahead and call this meeting back to order and continue on with the agenda. We've covered that. Let's see here. Looks like we're up for department reports. Item number 7 on the agenda. Steph?
Thank you, Mayor Dennison. So the next 2 items here are the appointments of commissioners to both our Planning Commission and the Parks, Rec, and Cultural Commission. As you recall, the town council members serve as liaisons to appointed members of both of those commissions, and their terms coincide with the council member terms. So for this year, we have 3 nominated or appointed commissioners in both of those commissions with their terms expiring at the end of January. So the council members, each of you, have reached out to your appointed council or Planning and Parks, Rec, and Cultural Commission commissioners. All have indicated that they would like to continue to serve for another 4-year term. And that is at the end of the staff report. So the recommendation is to reaffirm the Councilmember Schooler's appointment of Matthew Thomas for another term as Planning Commissioner expiring January 31st, 2027. To reaffirm Mayor Pro Tem Dennison's appointment of James Henderson for another term as a Planning Commissioner expiring January 31st, 2027. and to reaffirm Councilmember Abel's appointment of Gerard Noonan for a 4-year term as a planning commissioner expiring January 31st, 2027. Similarly, on the Parks Rec and Cultural Commission, all of these are to reaffirm the appointments expiring January 31st, 2027, and that would be for Commissioner Jeff Brady, Commissioner Matthew Roush, and Commissioner Andrea Staley. And that concludes the staff report. I'd be happy to answer any questions following public comment. And also, Mayor, after public comment, we do have some of our commissioners in attendance that might give them an opportunity to speak if they would like.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for the report. I appreciate that. Is there anyone from the public that would like to make a comment on these appointments today? Item number 7 on the agenda. Seeing none, we can bring it back for any discussion by council. Yes.
Yeah, I would like to thank our planning commissioners. That's our first item, item 7. Each of the 3 planning commissioners that are up for reaffirming have done a fantastic job. I've been able to attend several planning commission meetings, and sometimes their attendance is much greater than the town council, depending on the particular item up for discussion. And I've seen them handle themselves so very well. Conducting a very orderly meeting. You could tell each of the planning commissioners each week does their homework. They're very even-handed in their decision-making and very good at listening to the constituents. They do a lot of the heavy lifting for the town council. We oftentimes rely on them, or always rely on them, to sort through all the particular details and a lot of hearings and hearing directly from the public on issues. And sometimes because it's gone so well, the public feels like they've been heard, they don't end up showing up at the council meeting when we confirm those recommendations. So wonderful job. These 3 gentlemen that are up for nomination have done just a great job. They also have very good attendance records. So when you're asking for planning commissioners, I don't think we could do any better than these 3 here, and the other 2 that are going to be appointed or looked at in the next one have equally done a great job. So thank you for your service to our community.
All right. I just want to say I think we have a superb planning commission, and we have Matthew and James here, and I think you two, I'm so glad you're here because I just want to say that your job is really difficult. I know you have a meeting tomorrow, I believe, correct? And so you're even meeting beyond your normal schedule, and you do it mostly voluntary. I mean, you get very little compensation. So I think it's very important that, well, I think you guys are probably the best planning commission I've ever seen. Even when I was on there, you know, it was a very good planning commission, but you guys are like above my expectations. So thank you for all you do. I really appreciate it.
Matthew or James, either one of you or both of you would like to make a comment? You have the opportunity.
No, just good evening to the council and staff, and it's just been a real honor and a privilege to be on the Planning Commission. I've enjoyed it thoroughly. When I was sitting in Dr. Lombardo's chair getting my teeth worked on a few years back, he said, "You ever thought about being on the Planning Commission?" And I said, "Are you guys looking for somebody?" He said, "Yeah." So I filled out an application. I sat before Jim Schooler and Rick Dennison, and then Jim ended up appointing me. And it's been a real lot of fun. When we first moved up here in 2015, my wife and I were kind of like, we're going to like it here or not, but we ended up really loving it, and it's going to be our town till we're dead and buried in the backyard. I'll probably have to get a fishing game permit for that, but you know, but short of that, but yeah, really enjoyed it, and I look forward to the next few years. I can't believe this 4 years has just flown by like that. It's just amazing. So thank you again.
We appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll just echo Matt's comments. The 4 years has gone by super fast, and I've grown a lot as a planning commissioner, and I have so many people to thank. You know, when we look up here, we see our elected officials, but I see mentors. Mayor Dennison has been such a great guide to me, especially if we navigate very complex issues, controversial issues. He's just been a really steady support for me. And all of you, I've talked to all of you at some point during this tenure, and I thank you so much. And I thank our town manager, Curtis Giacomo, and our deputy town manager, Shane Stuckel. And Shane carries a couple titles with the town, but it should be one that is a very wise person, because he gives the planning commission, he sets the tone to help us make really good decisions. So it's not hard to want to be reappointed, because we have outstanding support from all the staff, from Brooke to Leslie to Jared to Evan, and our town attorney, who gives us great advice as well. So thank you so much. And we look forward to another great 4 years of keeping the town's business moving forward. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you, James. You know, as the commissioner that I appoint, and when you were selected, it was obviously a very good choice for us. You've been very engaged in the discussions, helping guide our town, and it's very much appreciated. The items come forward back to the council with clarity and helps us solve a lot of the more complex things. I don't think a lot of people in the public understand the really deep dive that the Planning Commission and the Parks, Recreation, and Cultural Commission do to help clear out a lot of the things, the noise, and get us to the point. And both of you do a wonderful job. And I believe, I just echo again what the other council members have said. And part of it is that both of you seem like you're very comfortable with the team that you have there. And that's what I really like to see. You know, sometimes we have discussions, we don't always agree, but we know there's a goal and we have to reach it. And that's the good part of it, that we can get through it. So thank you very much. So right now I'd be looking for a motion and a second. Motion on...
I'll move that we approve the appointments.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Schooler for second?
Yes, correct.
Okay, thank you. And this is for both items
Seven
item
and
7 and 8.
No,
Okay.
just planning, 7.
Right now, just item 7.
Oh, okay.
Just item 7, okay.
We'll move 8 as a separate item.
Councilmembers Abel,
Yes.
Droz,
Yes.
Lombardo,
Yes.
Schooler,
Yes.
and Mayor Dennison.
Yes. And thank you, guys. I appreciate your work very much. Have another good 4 years. Next, moving on to item number 8. This will be the same procedure, but with Parks, Recreation, and Cultural Commission. Can you once again go over the names of the...
You want to make the motion?
Sure. Sorry. So the 3 commissioners on our Park, Rec, and Cultural Commission who are up for reappointment are Councilmember Schooler's appointment of Jeff Brady, Councilmember Abel's appointment of Matthew Roush, and Councilmember Dennison's appointment of Andrea Staley.
Okay, thank you. And is there any public comment on item number 8? Seeing none, bring it back to council if they have any comments.
Mayor, again, we are very fortunate as a council to have people who wanting to go sign up for another 4-year term. And again, I appreciate the 3 names that are before us tonight. For the public's information, that although somebody appoints a member to a commission, it takes the council's vote for that person to be able to serve. And so, again, we have 3 outstanding individuals. I know Matthew Roush is my selection. He's been a long-serving public servant. Again, as mentioned by the other council members or by the mayor, that there's really not much of a stipend involved in serving, so they definitely serve out of love for community. And so I appreciate each and every one of these applicants and their ability or their willingness to go ahead and serve another 4-year term. I'll make a motion that we approve these 3 nominees.
All
We have a
second.
motion and a second by Mayor Pro Tem Lombardo.
Councilmembers Abel,
Yes.
Droz,
Yes.
Lombardo,
Yes.
Schooler,
Yes.
and Mayor Dennison.
Yes. Moving on to item number 9 on the agenda, Town Council Public Agency Board and Committee Liaison Assignments. Do we have a staff report on this?
Thank you, Mayor. So this is just a routine review of our agency board and committee appointments. So we'll have one of those. Hersan, could you pull up that PDF of that? So our council members serve in different capacities beyond just our local council. So this gives us an opportunity to look at those to see how things are going, if the schedule is still the same, if they're still able to keep those commitments. And also, there are some positions that are specific to the mayor and mayor pro tem position. So just want to have you have an opportunity to look at those. We also have an indication from Councilmember Droz that his schedule will not allow for continued participation on the Interagency Council on Homelessness. So this participation on the committee is a significant time commitment in the range of 6 hours or more monthly. And in previous years, staff has represented the town as needed. So you might want to give that one a consideration. So that concludes the staff report. The recommendation is just to review the representation and our ad hoc committee assignments, which are just a little bit further down on the list, to see if we need to add or remove any of those. And then if there are any changes, direct the town clerk to make those announcements to those boards and committees. I'd be happy to answer any questions following public comment.
Thank you. So at this time, any public comment in the room on item number 9 or online? All right, seeing none, we'll bring it back to council for discussion on the current assignments and any potential change.
Mayor, I'd be willing to step in. We're on the Council on Homelessness.
Okay, great. So we have from Councilmember Schooler for the vacancy that was created by Droz. Anyone else interested in that position? All right, thank you. Thank you, Councilmember. Okay, and the ad hoc committees, I believe that both of those are things that we are continuing to work on. I know that I've spoken to Councilmember Abel a few times about continuing on roads, and these are for the ad hocs, and then the fire department project. We are still right in the middle of that project, and we wouldn't want to lose those at this time. The rest of the assignments, are there any considered changes? All the comments?
No.
Okay.
What about mayor and mayor pro tem, League of California Cities, since we changed? Yeah.
Yeah.
They'll rotate with the
Okay.
seed.
Mayor, if there's no further discussion, I'd like to make a motion that we approve the representation on our public agency boards and ad hoc committees with the one change, adding Councilmember Schooler to the homelessness partnership and relieving Councilmember Droz from that responsibility.
Thank you for that. Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Council members Abel,
Yes.
Droz,
Yes.
Lombardo,
Yes.
Schooler,
Yes.
and Mayor Dennison.
Yes. All right, one thing everybody loves here, which are networks and computer systems. Item number 10. Staff report, please.
Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yep. Yes, we can
Okay,
hear you
great.
clearly. Thank you.
Hi. All right, great. Good evening, Honorable Mayor and Council. The item before you is the approval of the revised contract with Southwest Networks. The recommendation before you is to approve the revised contract with Southwest Networks for IT managed services for the time period of January 1st, 2023 through June 30th, 2024, and amend the approved fiscal year 22-24 budget for information technology professional services from $105,000 to $160,000 for fiscal year 22-23, and from $110,000 to $170,000 for fiscal year 23-24. and amend the approved fiscal year 22-24 budget for information technology software licenses from $115,057 to $140,000 for fiscal year 22-23, and from $132,015 to $160,000 for fiscal year 23-24. And authorize the town manager to sign all related documents in a form approved by the town attorney and make any non-substantive changes. So if council will recall, in May of 2018, staff completed an RFP process for managed IT services, and Southwest Networks was found to be the successful bid winner. In June 2018, the town council authorized staff to enter into a contract with Southwest Networks for 2 years with an option to renew up to two-year contract extensions. The town exercised the first option to renew for a period of 2 additional years with the approval of the First Amendment dated July 1st, 2020 and ending on June 30th, 2022. The town was planning on exercising the second option to renew for 2 additional years, but due to enhanced cybersecurity liability requirements on both the contractor and the town, staff recommended renewing the existing contract for a period of 6 months in order to continue contract negotiations. Council approved the contract extension through December 31st, 2022. During negotiations, staff worked with the town's legal counsel in revising the town's standard professional agreement to accommodate the necessary cybersecurity, liability, and indemnification requirements that are suitable for both the contractor and the town. The new contract also includes many upgraded and enhanced cybersecurity features the town will deploy starting in 2023 to better protect the town's IT infrastructure, as well as maintain compliance with cybersecurity requirements from CIRA, the town's insurance provider, as well as other state and federal requirements for upgraded cybersecurity protections. The recommended action will propose to accomplish the following: authorize a new contract with Southwest Networks for an 18-month term ending on June 30th, 2024, so as to align with the town's 2-year budget with an option to renew for 1 year. Enhanced cybersecurity upgrades added to the contract and additional cybersecurity features implemented for Microsoft Office 365 licensing. The scope of work and associated cost structure include the implementation of many enhanced cybersecurity features that allow the town's IT network and infrastructure to be better controlled, managed, and protected. Some of these cybersecurity features will include 2-factor authentication, enhanced control and monitoring of the town's network, required NIST compliance, enhanced vulnerability scanning, and compliance management tools. Additionally, the town's Wi-Fi network will be better enhanced to prevent hacking while still allowing for guest access. The scope of work also upgrades the Microsoft Office 365 licensing by enabling stronger security features than the town currently has. All of these cybersecurity features are new to the town and have not been included in the contract until now. As staff and legal counsel were going through the contract negotiations and performing an audit of current town security standards, it was found that cybersecurity needed to be upgraded, resulting in the changes in the scope of work and the increased cost. As council is aware, effective cybersecurity protection is essential in today's world of technology. Keeping up with the constantly changing protocols requires the proper tools and systems be put into place to secure the town's IT infrastructure and data from hackers who seek to cause damage or steal data, to cyber pirates who seek to hold data or system access hostage for ransom. Approving the new contract with Southwest Networks and approving the increase for the information technology budgets to allow for the installation of the new cybersecurity features contained within it will better accomplish these goals. Again, the recommended action before you is to approve the revised contract with Southwest Networks for an 18-month term, amend the approved fiscal year 22-24 budgets for information technology and professional services and software licenses, and also authorize the town manager to sign all related documents in a form approved by the town attorney and make any non-substantive changes. With that, I'd be happy to answer any questions following public comment.
Thank you for that briefing on the item. Anyone in the public have any questions on item number, where are we, 10? Yes. Anyone online? Nothing? All right, bring it back to council for comments. Anyone? I'd just like to make a comment. A few years back, probably around 16 or so, one of the things that I was very interested in was improving our network and our access. And really, it was not just internally, but to have better participation in the public, to reach out. And since that time, staff has worked diligently to bring a lot of things forward. And thankfully so that they did. We made improvements to the network. We made improvements to the hardware. We upgraded our software. We made it a little more standardized and easier for people to access the information in the town and also hold it in the palm of their hand. We were able to get that just like these monitor screens and some of the other things that you have, so people can remote in and become active participants in it. And we had done that just before COVID had hit. And we really saw the benefit at that time where people could actually attend our meetings. And we had some pretty good attendance numbers at that time. So this is the next evolution of it. We have all of this here. We have a lot of it. We have a lot of stuff out there. And I think this is very important for us to finish the last part, which is to make sure it's all secure now that it's running. With that, I would like to go ahead and make a recommendation that we approve item number 10. I'll make the motion. And
I'll second that.
And we have a second by Councilmember Abel.
Councilmembers Abel,
Yes.
Droz,
Yes.
Lombardo,
Yes.
Schooler,
Yes.
and Mayor Dennison.
Yes, thank you. Next will be agenda item number 11, Architectural Engineering and Professional Services Agreement with HMC.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. The recommendation before the council this evening is that the town council approves Amendment 1 to the Professional Services Agreement for added services related to the design of a PV solar system for the Prop 68 Aquatics and Rec Center in an amount not to exceed $181,200, increasing the total professional services agreement from $1.9 million to $2.082 million, authorizing town manager, town attorney, and mayor to sign necessary documents. Council, recall that an important part of the design concepts with our Prop 68 projects is sustainability, energy efficiency, and reducing our carbon footprint with that facility. So even though solar wasn't included as part of the initial scope, we've had some subsequent conversations with HMC. We kind of looked at it in a parallel path, one with, once the determination was made to pursue PV system in the initial design, to either look for kind of an off-the-shelf solution, which there are some that are out there, or bringing on HMC with an additional added services contract to complete that design development and include that in as part of their scope. Through that conversation, we feel there's a lot of benefit in keeping the same architect, the same design team, the same subs, where you have the same structural, civil, electrical, mechanical individuals that can design this system specific for what our application is, including the ability to make it look maybe a little bit nicer than some of the typical off-the-shelf solar shade structures. You'll recall that this design conceptually right now includes shade shelter facilities on the north side of the project site, as well as on the east side of the project site for shade shelters that will accommodate parking. In addition to that, there are rooftop solar over the gymnasium portion of the project site. So that's the initial thought. Here, the recommendation is to move forward, adding services with HMC to get that design moved forward. And you'll also recollect that the town continues to work with California Energy Commission to find an advantaged funding structure to help with the delivery of this component of the project. With that, I'd be happy to answer other questions after public comment.
Thank you. So at this time, do we, once again, any public comment on the item? Nothing online either. Bring it back to council for any comments or questions of staff.
I have a question. We said the original design was a 50% return as far as energy consumption and solar usage. So we're hoping to have them look at possibilities of trying to bring that a little bit higher. And
yes, sure. So the council received an update at the 60% design, and part of that feedback that we received from council was 50% is good, but we'd like to see you do better. So there's probably some constraints that we're going to have with just the amount of surface area. Interestingly, when we look at the project itself, the natatorium is a big roof deck, and right now it doesn't look like we're going to be able to use that roof deck for solar panels, given a couple of constraints with both the design, structural design, as well as you don't want to have panels in a place where they're either inaccessible for maintenance, or that access is either dangerous, or to mitigate the dangerous condition, it causes quite a bit of change in the design. So for those reasons, that space may not be available, but the direction is clear from the council to maximize the amount of offset that we can get, and we will continue to do that in the design.
And is there any way of looking at including a few passive solar options when they're looking at the regular solar? Maybe bringing in some type of lighting, tube lighting or whatever into the gym to help offset some of the costs?
Well, clearly, part of the basis of design that we have in the project itself is highly energy efficient. So, for example, all of the lighting inside is LED lighting. It's the most efficient. It's the most favored in terms of design that we can have, in addition to some of the other components, both on the mechanical, electrical, and plumbing system. So we will continue to move in that direction and try and maximize that offset wherever we can.
All right, any other comments? None, then we'll go ahead and look for a motion to move the item. 11.
I'll move the item.
I will second.
We have Mayor Pro Tem moved it and Rose second.
Councilmember Zabel?
Yes.
Droz?
Yes.
Lombardo?
Yes.
Schooler?
Yes.
And Mayor Dennison?
Yes. All right, so moving on to our final item of the evening on the agenda is item number 12, the State Auditor's Local Government High-Risk Dashboard Review.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm going to pinch hit for your finance manager, who is due to have her child anytime. So we're going to pinch hit for her. This is an easy one to do because it's a time for the council to be able to brag a little bit about your structure, financial structure as a community. I'm going to start with this so that you know and the public knows, if they were interested in wanting to see how this works. You would just go to Google and type in the California State Auditor, high-risk cities, and that should take you to their dashboard. That looks like this. Fiscal health of California cities. And the intent of this dashboard is to provide the public comparison and information about how cities' fiscal health is on many different risk indicators. So for example, you can see there on the left-hand side, the risk indicators that are calculated when they look at overall rankings: general fund reserves, debt burden, liquidity, revenue trends, pension obligations, pension funding, pension costs, future pension costs, other post-employment benefit obligations, and funding. And then they go through the entire state based on your audited financial statements and give you a ranking on where you're at. So they start with the red ones, which are where we don't want to be. For example, there, Compton, there's 0 out of 100 points. But we'll flip this around and go from best to worst. Interestingly, one of the more newer incorporated cities is your top city, Eastvale, 100 out of 100 points. And then you go from there. We're glad to see our neighbors to the east, 29 Palms there at 425. And then just on the next page, you'll see the town of Yucca Valley at 419 with 96.09 out of 100 points. And if you go back and look at the other top ones, 96, 96, 96, 96. So when you do the math, we're in the top about 2.5% of cities across the state in terms of fiscal health. When you look at Yucca Valley, you can further click on that, and it will bring up the various components of that calculation. We'll see if our Wi-Fi will bring this up there. So it looks at it and provides on every measure where you're at, whether you're green, yellow, or red. And you can see here through the work of the town council and the policies that you've adopted, we've been able to secure very, very high rankings in all of these different metrics across the spectrum of municipal finance. So we're grateful to the council for their guidance, and we're also grateful to our residents for example, revenue trends, liquidity. Those things don't happen without the resident belief. Passing Measure Y, passing Measure K, the most recent ones, will continue to strengthen these metrics as we move forward. So if you wanted to go into a deeper dive and look at what makes up each one of those calculations, you can do that just by messing around on the site. Pretty interesting, and you can look at some of your neighboring cities and see where they're at. But overall, this is an improvement from where we were at. We were in the top 5%. We're in the top 2.5% now. We don't anticipate this moving dramatically. We will tell you that with the 2022 financing that the town did for capital project purposes, debt burden will probably change a little bit, but we feel very, very comfortable that it was well worth the offset given the interest rates that were available at the time that will position the town for the next 20 to 30 years. So again, this is available for the public to be able to peruse and see how they feel about different factors at financial status of the town of Yucca Valley. So with that, I'd be happy to answer other questions, Mayor.
Well, thank you very much for that. It's always good to have news like that. Any comments from the public in the House or online? Seeing none, we'll bring it back to the council for comments. Yes, Councilmember Schooler.
Yeah, this is something that I've been out bragging about, and actually somebody came to the council or Coffee with the Mayor event this morning, actually, and brought that up and saluted the town, congratulated the town on that, because they've heard about that, they're proud of that, we're proud of that, and that's something that is really meaningful, not only to us, but to the community. So just thank you to Curtis and Jordan and the staff for bird dogging this, monitoring it, and watching us and putting us in this position. Appreciate that.
Very nice.
Anyone else? I would just like to say I'm very proud of everyone's work on this as far as staff goes. And one thing I'm very good with seeing is that our OPEB and those areas of pension, that's really all the crews here and the teams in the town. It just shows the security and how important it is that we have great staff and that we show them that everybody's invested in this and making sure that we're all whole. So excellent news. Thank you for that. With that, I'll go ahead and make the motion that we receive. Oh, is it a receive and file? Okay, well, thank you. I appreciate it. That's good news. I like to end on good news. So our next thing would be any future agenda items from council. Seeing none, then we'll go ahead and move over to public comments. Public comments, the town council takes the time to consider your comments on items of concern which are not on the agenda. When you're called to speak, please state your name. Please state your name and community of residence. Please limit your comments to 3 minutes or less. Inappropriate behavior which disrupts, disturbs, or otherwise impedes the orderly conduct of the meeting will result in forfeiture of your public comment privileges. The town council is prohibited by state law from taking any action or discussion on items not on the printed agenda. Anyone in the audience or online? We see none. So that was, I said more than the public did. So staff reports and comments now.
Thank you, Mayor. Maybe just a few tonight. Captain, you have anything for us this evening?
Thank you.
Yes, if I could. Also ending on good news, just wanted to share with the council and any of the public who may be watching is at the sheriff's station we have an abundance of toys that we are desperately trying to hand out in the next couple of days. It's very common for deputy sheriffs and other staff members of the station to bring in some toys. It's always great to have a deputy when they see kids playing on the street or come in contact with a family in need to hand out some gifts to make their holiday season a little bit more enjoyable. Today I was asked to stop by our local Elks Lodge at 5 o'clock and they asked me to bring by multiple vehicles. I have 2 of our station trucks and my SUV packed to the gills with toys. Here just a few days before Christmas. So I put it out on Twitter as I pulled up here and before Then Mayor Schooler dropped the gavel. Chad Mays already retweeted it. I know he has a big reach here in the basin, but if there's any organizations that you can think of that can use some toys, we have plenty, and we'd love to share the love before the weekend if we can.
Absolutely, thank you.
Terrific. Thanks, Captain. Deborah, you have anything this evening?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Congratulations, Mayor Dennison and Mayor Pro Tem Lombardo. I just wanted to make the announcement that the annual point-in-time count has been scheduled. It's Thursday, January 26th, from 6 to 10 a.m. in the morning. I will be happy to forward that information to your emails. We are looking for volunteers, as we do every year. They have to register through the county's website, so I will also send that link, so it make it more convenient for everyone. But we really want to highly encourage everyone to be involved. It's very important for certain funding. So please get the word out. Oh, one last thing. We will be holding, there's a training, an in-person training for the volunteers that will be held here in the Yucca Room on Thursday, January 19th from 10 to 12. So.
All right, thank you very much.
Thanks, Deborah. Sue, you have anything this evening?
Headed into basketball season. We are flush with players. Everyone wants to get out there and play. So we have, I think, 33 teams. Yeah, it's.
Where do they go?
Whoa, build a gym. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, we're going to have to build a gym.
So the games start as soon as we get back from the holiday. That'll be January 7th. We'll get going with games, and also our little Wii Hoops program, also full to the gills. So it's all going great for youth basketball, and we can't wait to get started.
Thanks, Sue.
Thank you.
Shane?
Mayor and Council, the two road projects which you have recently awarded will be moving slow through the holiday season, but both projects picking back up right on the 2nd and 3rd of January in the new year, so those will be moving forward. We'll also be back in front of the council either at your one meeting in January or your first meeting in February, continuing the discussion of additional road work by your town street crew this year. So a lot of road things happening this winter, as well as moving into next summer.
Thank you, Shane. Tom, you have anything tonight? All right. Just a couple of comments, Mayor and Council. First of all, happy birthday to Councilmember Droz tomorrow. Enjoy your special day. We see you have your little balloon there. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you to Councilmember Schooler for stepping up on the ICH. Deborah lit up, and she was very, very excited that we had a council member interested in doing that. It's a commitment, and we do thank you for that, but it's also important. That is the agency ultimately that's responsible for distributing state funds that go to assist the most needy in this community, and we want to ensure that the Morongo Basin is represented. And that we fight for our fair share of that funding to help those in need here in the community. So thank you for that effort. And then our thanks from the town staff, Mayor Schooler, for the past year in leading both the council as well as through the council direction to staff. And so we appreciate that. We're always a little bit nervous when we have ex-employees on the dais, and so we never know how that's going to look. But it was terrific working with you, and we do appreciate that. So thank you.
All right, thank you. Appreciate that. So we're moving on to the council. So Mayor and Council member reports and comments. We're going to start off with Council Member Abel.
Yes, I do want to thank our outgoing mayor for an outstanding job this year. As he knows, the job of mayor becomes very labor intensive, and I know he was asked to come to a lot of events, and most of those he was able to attend, and when he attends, his wife oftentimes attends as well. So thank Dawn for us on our behalf for her service to the community, as well as our First Lady for the last year. Jim, you did an outstanding job, fantastic job, and appreciate what you brought to the council, and also I echo the thanks of taking on the homeless partnership assignment. It is very labor intensive, and we do appreciate you being involved in that and giving us reports on what's going on with the homeless issues and so forth. With that, again, I want to thank all our planning and our Parks and Recreation commissioners for again serving for another 4 years. People don't realize until you do the job just how much of a commitment that is. And like I said, I'm very impressed with the number of meetings that they all attend. I don't see a lot of absenteeism, and I see a lot of very good dialogue going on the dais as they're discussing issues. And so I do appreciate all the men and women who've ever served on those commissions for the outstanding job. With that, I just want to wish everyone a very Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, and a great New Year.
All right, thank you very much. Next, Councilmember Droz.
All right, thank you. I want to start off with Mayor Alumni Schooler. I want to say that I think you've done an incredible job. With your coffee with the mayor, you got a lot of interactions. I know in the past there haven't been so many, and somehow you were able to get people out of their homes and over to the golf course and to talk with you, Hawks Landing. And also your podcast, that was pretty incredible that you were able to do a podcast. So thank you. And for going on the homeless committee, I'm very happy you're doing it. I think you will be perfect for that. Unfortunately, it didn't fit my schedule, and it was pretty time intense. So I appreciate that. And by the way, I'm wearing a mask because I have a cough. I'm not COVID positive or anything. I don't feel sick, but I have a cough, so I'm just being careful. Anyway, and let's see here. Mayor Pro Tem Lombardo, congratulations. Bet you can't wait to be mayor again next year. and Mayor Dennison, you'll do a stellar job just like you did last time. And you're an incredible person, and you'll do a great job. So I really appreciate that. I'm really happy. And I want to wish everyone a happy Christmas and a happy New Year. And we will see you next year.
Thank you very much. And so, Councilmember Schooler.
Okay, first of all, chopped liver, yes. First of all, I'd like to congratulate Mayor Dennison and Mayor Pro Tem Lombardo. I'm sure you'll do a stellar job, as usual. Happy to serve on the council with you. I am pleased with the Planning Commission and Park Recreation and Cultural Commission appointments, reappointments. As has been mentioned, they are functioning very well, and I think we're lucky to have those individuals stepping up in our community. And then I'd just like to thank town staff again for your support during my term as mayor, and wish everybody a happy holiday, Merry Christmas, New Year's. So, thank you.
All right, thank you very much. And to Mayor Pro Tem Lombardo.
Well, I just want to mention, put out a job well done to the Honorable Chopped Liver Schooler. We enjoyed working under you as council, and you did a great job of mayor, and you really put a good face on Yucca Valley as the mayor. And I was very happy to see the innovations that you started, the blog and the meetings with the mayor at the park, at the golf course. And I hope that can continue in some form. I think those are good opportunities for the public to come together. I know that when I had meetings with the mayor, that's how the film festival came about, with Matt coming in just off the street saying, hey, I want to do something for the town. And I want to remind people that there's always opportunities to get involved and volunteer in the goings-on of your town. Please feel free to come make yourself be known, either in a personal meeting or in public to one of these meetings, and talk to the people that need to help integrate you. But we all want to help you move in the direction of service for your community. It's a very fun and rewarding and builds a lot of good friendships. So I highly recommend it. Please get involved if you can. I want to thank the commissioners for signing back up. 4 years is a long commitment, but you've done a wonderful job, and we've gotten so much accomplished, and we're moving in the right direction in so many ways that can be directly attributed to your work and efforts, and we thank you, and please keep that up. Looking forward to seeing more art in public space that I think will come in the years ahead. The staff has done an outstanding job again, and it's such a great cohesion of people with special talents and people that love this community coming together and making it really happen. That's about all I really have to say. Have a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, Happy Hanukkah to those, and it's a wonderful little community we have. Please be part of it.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem.
Can I say one more thing?
Absolutely.
I want to thank Deborah because she helped me out so much with the homeless committee I was on, and I was struggling to make the meetings, and I decided to not do it anymore. But anyway, I want to thank you personally for that. So thank you in public, so everybody knows what a big help you were. Thank you.
And I forgot to mention one important thing.
Yes.
Thank you for taking the leadership as mayor, and we're going to be enjoying working with you. You're very dedicated and very detail-oriented. You bring a lot to the mayor's position, and we'll be happy to follow you in your endeavors.
Thank you for those comments. We have a good team again. Thank you. I'd like to, getting sworn in tonight is a big thing for me. It's just kind of a validation that kind of what I'm trying to do for the town and the work that we're doing, all of us are doing. And so I really appreciate the community putting me in a position today where I can serve another 4 years for the town. We've done so much since I've been on the council, and it's not me, it's just everyone. It's really we have a community inside of our community, and that's how we get work done. So I'm very thankful to be with the others here doing this, but the town is really what steers the council, and the council works with staff to get the things done. And so it really is the community that starts this whole process, and I'm very thankful for them for putting me here today. I want to say thanks to Mayor Schooler, of course. Chop liver, yeah, so you're moving up. But you're very visible. You were there, you were in person, people got to know you, and in 1 year to make such an impact that you did is going to last a long time. So thanks for bringing innovation forward. We all try and innovate a little something every single time, and you really put in the time, and it's not easy to do. I know that, so thanks. We'll have another good year. And I want to say thanks to Dr. Lombardo for being the Mayor Pro Tem. Congratulations on being nominated, and I think we'll be able to do a lot more good work this year. Our commissioners, welcome back for another term. I'm so proud of them for volunteering and stepping up to the plate for our community. And that's another piece of the whole thing that we have here. They do very, very deep dive work, as I said earlier. It's just too much for any one person without having some type of filter that we can run it through at a public level to see if that's the right direction that we're going to go. And the outcome, what we've gotten from the community, is great support through some of the measures that we've moved, and also when you look at how our finances are, what staff had demonstrated today, the town manager is very proud of that, and we're green up and down the board, and that comes from a lot of work and being very conscious of where we're at fiscally. So that's great, and I love working in an environment like that. So I just want to say thank you again to everybody, and whatever holiday you choose, whatever type of faith that you have in what you're going to do over this time of year with hopefully family and friends, maybe even being down here for Mara's Christmas wish, whatever it may be, I wish you the very best. My family, we celebrate Christmas, and I will be with my family this year too. So it's a blessing for those things to take place. I just hope everybody's safe. Be courteous, be nice, and remember this is a time of years to really think about others and try and lend a hand. As the captain had mentioned, there's an opportunity that's very easy to get to help others that may not have as much as some others. We can get those toys out to the children. We can help make their day a little bit brighter, and that's very important. I was at the fire station the other day. They have a toy drive. They got boxes of toys. This community is unbelievably kind, and we have that support, and now it's our job. They did the hard work, and we need to go out there and get this stuff distributed in the proper places that it needs to be. So please help, please reach out. With that, I want to talk about our next upcoming meeting schedule. The Yucca Valley Town Council will be meeting on Tuesday, January 3rd. That meeting has been canceled due to the lack of scheduled agenda items But we will meet again on Tuesday, January 17th, 2023. So next year, the 17th of January, I hope you can join us here. With that, this meeting is adjourned.